Hello there and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about a little bit different subject. I'm going to give you 6 survival tips for a broken home. Now, I know some of you guys who watch my channel know me kinda, you know my family kinda, you follow my daughter and her channel, so you see our family through different things and you think, man, that family's got it all together. They've got it, they got love, they got happiness, they got Christianity, they got faith, they got each other, they've got their health. Just a beautiful family. My daughters are beautiful. My sons-in-law are good looking. My 5 grandkids are spectacular. So you might, from the outside looking in, think, man, what are you talking about, a broken home? And how are you going to give me 6 survival tips for a broken home? Well, my story hasn't always been this little picturesque story that it is now with such a healthy, beautiful, together, everybody getting along family. Hasn't always been that way. It just didn't start out that way at all. You see, when I was about in the 2nd or 3rd grade, my parents got divorced. I've got an older brother and an older sister, and our family was ruined. We lived in a very small town, and everybody knew everybody, and my dad cheated on my mom. And the divorce happened. And we went from a little middle-class family of 5 to a struggling family of 4 with a single mom and 3 little kids. Very, very tough. So I know about broken homes and broken families a little all too well. But I'm going to give you 6 survival tips that I learned through the process that really helped me and my brother and my sister and my mom get through those very, very, very challenging times. So after my parents' divorce, we actually stayed in that small town another 2 or 3 years. And I don't know how in the world my mom did that, but we did. I guess because we were already in school, we were familiar with our friends, she had her circle of friends. But being in a small town and being a divorcee in the early 1970s was not easy at all. It's not easy anytime. But it really wasn't easy then in a small town. So she was often the talk. People talk behind her back. They're looking at her. They're whispering. They're gossiping. And she was the subject, the target of that. And she finally just couldn't take it anymore. So she picked our little family of 4 up. And we moved about an hour and a half north to a town that her brother, my uncle, and his family lived in. And we moved into a trailer park. We went from a nice little ranch house, family of 5, to a single mom with 3 kids in a trailer park. And that's how I was raised. But I'll tell you, what I know now and looking back on that, I wouldn't trade a thing. God knew exactly what he was doing. He had me and my family exactly where he wanted us to be, to grow and to learn, to be able to develop into the people that he wanted us to be. So I'm going to give you 6 survival tips of how we survived that time. Here we go. So number 1, this is probably pretty obvious to you. Put God first. God needs to be the head of your household. So if you're in a broken home and you're living with a grandma, you're living with an aunt or uncle, just a mom, a single parent, God is the head of your household. And he needs to be declared the head of your household. You need to pray. You need to get down as your family and pray and give the keys to God. Give your family to God. Let him step in. Let him know that you want him in that role as the head of your household. Because if God's on your side, who can be against you? So that's like the foundation of everything. To have faith, have God first, have him as your head of the household. So if you're missing your dad, maybe your dad passed away or he's just gone, God's your dad. You need to lean into that and let your mom lean into that, or whoever's with you, your brothers and sisters, your siblings, lean into, hey, God is now dad. If you're missing your mom, the same thing. God can step in and be that parent. God can be that universal parent for you to fill that gap. But either way, God needs to be in the center of everything, and he needs to be the head of your household. and everything seemingly falls into place, you're still going to go through storms and rough times and just suck positions, because we sure did. I've had many meals that were just like a piece of white bread and maybe some fried spam, if you even know what that is, or a fried piece of bologna. Many meals with just a bowl of grits. I grew up with that. Sometimes we would just skip meals. But I had many meals that was just a bowl of grits or just a piece of white bread with a piece of bologna. And that was it. But we had faith. We leaned into God, and He was there, and His arms were always open. And somehow we survived, and somehow we grew closer together as a family because of those tough times. We needed each other, and we helped each other. We were always there for each other. We loved each other. We cared for each other. We were each other's shoulders to cry on there, and that grew us closer together. And we would often pray together. And that is what knitted us closer together and helped us through these storms, is just having that faith and knowing that God was there and God had us. The second thing to know is where God leads you, God needs you. So God doesn't make any mistakes. If He's in your life and He leads you into a situation where you're in a broken home, He needs you there because He's growing you through this storm to do something for Him later, to do something for His causes, His purposes, His people later. The things that you learn through the storms, God's going to use that. So just know wherever you are, no matter how suck your situation is, if God leads you there, He needs you there. So learn from it. Be a student. Really soak it all in and be in that moment, because you're going to need that later, and He's going to need you later. And maybe you're going to witness into other people's lives or be some support or be able to speak truths into other people's lives who are going through storms because you survived it. Survivors are the best counselors because now they've gone through that storm and they can reach back into other people's lives. So know, if God leads you there, He needs you there. So be sure that you're really a student of where you are in your bad situation, in your storm, in your suck spot. You need to own it, and you need to know that God needs you there so that you can learn from that and grow later. Number 3, this is a big one. Own your role as a giver. Most of us by nature are takers. And especially if you're a kid, you're a taker. You want. You want food. You want to be on this team. You want this new shirt. You want these new clothes, this new shoes. You want this new toy. You are a taker. I need this new car. I need gas money. I need. Gimme. If you're in a broken home, especially with a single parent, they are struggling. They are hurting. They need you to be a giver. They need you and your siblings to be givers, to own your role in the family as a giver, to do and give more than take. If you're a taker, you're just driving it further down that bad spot. Whatever your storm is just got worse. You're the lightning bolt in the storm because you're a taker. You need to not be a taker. Own your role as a giver. Watch your brothers and sisters and let them and teach them and model for them to be givers also, and give back. Do your chores, whatever it is, whatever you can do as a side job to make money to give to the family pot so that you guys can have stuff to eat. You guys can go somewhere. Do something fun every now and then because you're contributing. You're a giver. So when I was growing up, we did that. We tried our best. My brother and my sister and I tried our best to be givers, to take any burden we could off of our mom because she was the sole provider. My dad didn't do a great job of always giving child support. He missed way more than he ever gave. So my mom and her little bitty salary that she had at the time, little hourly wage, was barely enough to help us scrape by in that little trailer park. But we were givers. We tried to give back. We got our little jobs. We tried to buy stuff for ourselves to take the burden off of her as much as we possibly could. Number 4, you need to find mentors. You need to know that maybe your family can't give you everything you need. You need mentors, especially if you lost your dad. If you lost your mom too, if you lost somebody very important and you're in a broken home, you need to find a mentor to take that place, to pour into you, to give back. People who are going to see the best in you, who are going to pour value into you, help you appreciate life, help you to know who you are, who you want to be, to help you with your goals, your path forward, handling money, handling situations, handling relationships. You don't just learn all that on the fly. You need somebody to teach you and hold your hand through that process. So get books. Anything you want to know is in a book or an audio book. You don't have to, if you're not a reader, get an audio book. Look online. Look for mentors. Whatever you want in your life, there's somebody out there willing to teach you. You just need to find them. And then in person, you need to look for a youth pastor or your preacher, or maybe a strong neighbor. Maybe your mom has a friend who's a strong guy, who's got a family, who's a good family guy. Now, don't let it get weird, because there are predators out there. And if you're looking for a strong adult male in your life, that person can be a predator. So you need to have your guard up, because that's the wrong road you don't want to go down. You do not want to be in that situation. And always have your radar up looking for that situation. But there are good guys out there too, who will pour into your life and be that dad for you and help you through situations, be that big brother, so to speak. So if you're a girl, you need that dad in your life. If you're a boy, you need that dad in your life. If you lost your mom or whatever, maybe it's a big sister. Just somebody, doesn't matter, male or female, somebody to be that mentor in your life, to pour positivity and success into your life. And then choose your friends wisely. Your friends can be your mentors too. You're the average of your 5 closest friends. So if you're around crappy friends, guess who also is crappy? You. So you need to make sure that you choose your friends wisely and let them be mentors in your life as well. Number 5, here's kind of a funny one and a little bit awkward. Fake it till you make it. If you're in a bad situation, like I was in a trailer park. And when I went to school, I didn't want anybody knowing where I lived. I didn't want any friends coming home with me. I didn't want to know. Didn't nobody watch the bus and see where I get off or where I get on. I didn't want people knowing that. I tried to dress as best I could going to school because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be popular. I wanted to be with the in crowd. But I knew we couldn't afford crap. So I had to really make do with what I had clothes-wise to be able to hang around and be there. So I had to fake it. I had to fake it till I make it. And it just kept going and going, and we grew and grew as a family. And then eventually my mom got married again when I was about in the 7th or 8th grade. And we slowly started coming out of that poverty and getting back into middle class. But I had to fake it till I make it. And I know that's weird. I know you think, well, own your situation. You need to be there and it's okay. Your friends aren't really that good of friends if they didn't like that anyway. And maybe so. But as a kid, in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade, you don't know that stuff. You don't know how forgiving a friend may or may not be. But you certainly don't want to be on the receiving end of bullying or singling out or somebody making fun of you because of poverty. You don't want to be in that situation. So you have to, in a weird way, be able to fake it till you make it. Be hey, I'm happy, I'm good. Don't be all woe is me. And own that role, because that's not your identity. Where you are in your broken home is not your identity. Don't wear that. You know who you are inside. So you just kind of have to fake it till you make it, because you're going to get there one day. You just have to hang in there and hang tough until you do get there, because you will. And the 6th thing I want to throw in there for surviving a broken home is embrace gratitude. Gratitude is so important for helping you make it through. And later in life, an attitude of gratitude is fantastic to have. So, you got to look around in your broken home to find things to be grateful for. And it's not that hard. If you get to eat, if you get a meal, you get a new pair of shoes, you get a new shirt, the little bitty things. Gratitude. Be appreciative of the things that you have. Because later in life, if you do have a lot of stuff or access to things, your gratitude can go down and you won't be appreciative for stuff. But when you're in a broken home and you're struggling, just the little bitty things mean so much. You need to really look around and just be grateful for things. That whole attitude of gratitude is so key to surviving through a broken family, a broken home. Be grateful for things, just the littlest things that there are. Here's a quick story. In the trailer park with my family, it was so cold one winter that our heat wasn't working. We still had power, just enough, but our heat was not working. So we all piled in the car and we went to Kmart. It wasn't Walmart then, it was Kmart. And we had just enough money to buy one electric blanket. So when we got home, we got in one bed, we plugged that electric blanket in, and all four of us were under that one blanket. And it sounds sucky, but man, looking back on it, I'm so grateful for that. We laughed all through the night because we were so close to each other and we were cutting jokes and having fun. So I was grateful that we had that time together. It just took a horrible situation and we made light of it. So I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to look for things to be grateful for the little things, because later in life, like I said, if you do have access to stuff, you don't want to lose that. An attitude of gratitude is something you'll carry all through your life. So make sure that you're looking around for the things to be grateful for, and let the people know around you that you're grateful for them, especially a parent, a single parent. Let them know you're grateful for them. Let your siblings know you're grateful for them. Just the least little thing, because everything is so important and so valuable when you have nothing. So be grateful for it. There you go. That's my 6 survival tips for a broken home, a broken family. Hope you enjoyed that. I hope you like stuff like this. On my channel, I try to give a weekly wisdom nugget to you. So look back through some of my other videos and see if any of them apply to you. And hopefully I can pour into your life. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you next time.